Hi, friends. Welcome to the Anime Book Club podcast. I'm your host, DJ Montague.
And I'm your host, Greg. And here we review anime from classics to brand new stuff, hidden gems, and controversial favorites.
You'll hear all of our hot takes, rants,
and genius observations. So thanks for tuning in, and buckle up because the episode starts now.
By the way, friends, these episodes contain spoilers, so be careful and don't ruin this anime for yourself. You've been warned.
Yes, Queen, let's go. All right.
I'm a size
Ladies
king.
and gentlemen, you are a size king, Greg. So proud of you and your big size. Hi, everyone. I would like to welcome you to the Anime Book Club podcast. I am your host, DJ, falling underwater by himself, staring longingly at whatever's up above. Also, trying really hard not to die in the street from a kaiju attack, a Montague. And I would like to welcome my co-host, Greg.
I am Greg, impaler of men that hit on me. Kaiju, wedding crasher, and defense force trading card collector, big smart, large D. Jesus.
Excellent. Yours is so good again, every time. Do you write these down?
I do write.
Oh, I was like, are these off the top of the dome? Because that's crazy.
Only have enough space to either do segues or that.
Everything else is just to the wayside. Yeah. So, welcome, friends. Today, we will be taking a look at episode 9, 10, and 11, basically the entire finale of Kaiju number 8, season 2. Greg, spoiler-free version. What's the vibe check, Greg?
A new generation is here. Old people suck. Go die already. 1 foot in the grave. Fucking useless.
Yeah, it had a very strange turn in terms of Kaiju, I think. I didn't hate it. I thought it was fine. I enjoyed parts of it. I wish there was a 12th episode.
I thought that was strange. I don't know what the rationale behind that was to just do 11 episodes. And that is one thing I'm noticing about a lot of animes now, maybe in the past year or so, where they're either doing odd numbered episodes where it's either 11 episodes or 13 episodes. So now you have a chance to get 11, 12, or 13 episodes of a series. And also they're doing shorter episodes like the Dark Elf one, where they were literally doing 12-minute episodes and then they had a 12-minute filler of something no one wanted. But then also the massage therapist one, hands off Kote Sashi-kun, that's only 12-minute episodes. You have the intro, you have the outro, and basically you have like 9 minutes of episode and then the episode's over.
Weird.
It is kind of weird, but I guess I don't mind it so much, especially for an anime like this, where more or less it's borderline. It's not even borderline. It is. There's just naked people every episode. And maybe that's for the best. I don't know if you need 24 minutes of a guy massaging naked girls. Maybe 12 is enough. I guess it makes sense. And same with the Dark Elf one as well. It's just like, do I want 24 episode 12 season series of this dark elf that all she does is just try to jump the bones of this kid that looks like he's 9 years old or whatever? I don't know. I think 12 minutes is enough. So I don't necessarily mind that format at all. It's just something that I'm noticing coming back lately.
Interesting. I wonder if it's to conserve story so that they can extend it longer, or it's to save money. I don't get it. But also, it's kind of weird for the viewer. It definitely will leave a bad taste in your mouth, I assume, that we're not the only people that would be like, hey, your 12-minute episodes are kind of lame, dude. Maybe we're the outliers, Greg, and they love it in Japan.
And this is something I should probably do research on, how they actually go about airing stuff, and maybe they did the 12-episode format to fit a specific time slot on TV, if this stuff is even making it to TV.
I have a new friend, and she was asking me, she's like, I don't really watch anime, but what should I watch? Apparently, she's seen all of One Piece, but has not seen like really anything else. So I was like, okay, start off if you like One Piece, Dan to Dan, good action, great storyline, awesome slice of life moments. If you want something more serious, Jujutsu Kaisen. If you want something lighthearted, but also like you don't have to pay attention and just like really like absurd, Apocalypse Hotel. And then I was like, and my friend Greg has said My Dress Up Darling is the greatest show he's ever seen in his entire life.
She hit you with the I don't watch anime, but then
and then have all watched all of One Piece. Yeah. yeah. But yeah, new homie that's gonna be listening to the show. She'll enjoy the shout out.
6-episode animes too have been a thing. See You at the Food Court was 6 episodes. Gotcha level 999 backdoored in a backwater dungeon out for revenge after getting backshotted. That's also 6 episodes. So yeah, I mean, just a lot of
it can't be a real anime.
A lot of variety in terms of how they're starting to do anime series now.
I thought we had a good format, and now they're going to ruin our format, Greg.
We are but just water in the river, flowing past rocks, dams, logs, anything in our path.
Wow, Greg. Really poignant.
I'm a fucking loser. We should probably talk about Kaiju.
Golly. Yeah, let's get into Kaiju. All right. Friends, from here on out, it's spoiler time. Like, the whole episode, spoiler o'clock, okay? And if you're here and you haven't seen Kaiju and you want to watch Kaiju and you don't want to get mad at Greg for getting mad at Kaiju, now's your time. Greg, start us off with your fury.
This is going to be episode 9, 10, and the finale, episode 11 of Kaiju number 8. We start on episode 9 with Keiji, who is the bald vice director dude underneath Isao, who is now the director dude, I guess, because Isao's dead. Or not dead, but he's gone. And
he's not doing great from what we see in this episode, no matter what.
I'm curious if this was him actually dying or just like losing consciousness and then becoming part of Kaiju number 9, but he's not actually dead. He's just part of them now or something.
Oh, 100%. I always reference this, that Gege had once said that importantly, when Kenjaku completely takes over Geto, and they have the moment where like Gojo's about to be in the prison, and he looks at Geto, and he's unsure of what's going on because he killed Geto, obviously. And then Kenjaku like fucks with him and like chokes himself, and he's like, "Oh, Geto, if you're still in there, be strong," or whatever. Like, Gege confirmed that literally was Kenjaku fucking with Gojo. When you have a person absorbed and then their memories come back and they're like, I'm going to save my daughter, or I'm going to save my family. Like, later on in the JJK storyline, we get a moment of that exact cliche. I don't want Isao to come back. I want him to have his proper send-off when, like, they do finally defeat Kaiju number 9. Maybe he's released for a second before he's completely obliterated and he could talk to Shinomiya. But I don't want him to like fight from inside of Kaiju number 9. I just don't want that at all.
I don't necessarily like that trope either. I guess if they do defeat Kaiju number 9 and then all of their souls are floating off into heaven or something, and he's like, hey, sorry, I was your shit dad, and then his soul explodes or whatever, and then Hikaru just eats it, and then Ray claps him, then it's like, okay, I'm okay with that.
Sick, that was sick.
But yeah, part of me feels like that might happen, though, where Kaiju number 9 is going to go for the killing blow on Shinomiya, and, a father's love is above all or something, and then gives her the split second for her to use squadron style combat axe technique number 69 and fuck him up. I don't know, dude.
Nice. No, I'm definitely worried about it as well. And I think that Kaiju's getting kind of cliche with a lot of things, so I feel like that's probably how it's going to go.
We haven't even gotten through one note yet. I read like half of the first note.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah.
I might as well just fucking start over. Here we go. Episode starts.
We talk about a lot of stuff, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff some more.
Keiji is in Isao's office looking at the fish tank and sees one of the fishes just 1,000 yards staring. But then it cuts to Isao, who is sinking underwater, and he says his time is running out. Cuts to Kafka training by himself, and then it flashes back to his training with Hoshina. And he says that the key to the squadron-style combat technique is the legs, and you generate force with the legs and send it through your fist. And he's here twice a week, so he'll know if Kafka is slacking on his training.
I'm slacking on my training. I'm just letting you know.
Is that what you look like when you train? You're just holding your hamstring like that?
I couldn't do that to my fucking leg. That would literally break my body.
Kafka is like, oh shit,
Snap.
this is hard. But then Shinomiya rolls up and it's like, oh, squadron style combat techniques. And she's like, should be perfect for you since you can't use a weapon, you fucking loser. And then Kafka is like, hey, this is hard as fuck. And she's like, I know. My dad did it every day. And she thinks that whatever was bothering Kafka is now gone. She's like, hey, I brought you this. And tosses him an iPhone 17 Air brand new. And she said, Hasegawa said to give it back to him. And she's like, why don't you contact everyone? You haven't talked to them in a while. Cuts to Kafka sitting in his cell/room. And he's like, I want to talk to them, but I just don't know what to say. And then flashes back to when he was cuffed and being taken away in season 1. And he's like, I haven't talked to them since. And it's been like 2 months. And they all know I'm Kaiju number 8. So what do they think of me now? Kafka's like, well, I guess I can just start by turning on the phone. And when he does, he gets 1 billion notifications and has 503 unread messages. He's like, well, I guess I'll read them all, but is having some self-loathing shit thinking everyone is saying he's a piece of shit. But then he gets a call and it's Reno. But he accidentally hangs up on him and he's like, fuck, man, that makes it even more awkward. And he's like, I'll just put this away for today. Before he can do that, he gets another call from Iharu. And he answers, but it's Reno. And Reno is like, why you pick up for Iharu and you don't pick up for me, you fuck? Reno was like, man, why didn't you try to connect with us? It's been 2 months. And Shinomiya probably got your phone back for you. And he's like, I was worried about you. Kafka tells the truth and is like, I was worried you guys would be scared of me because I'm Kaiju number 8. And then Iharu butts in and is like, of course we're scared. You got Kaiju powers. But it doesn't mean I don't like you. And you put yourself at risk to save the base. And Reno is like, you gotta believe. Believe in us.
In the heart of the cards. Believe in the heart of the cards, dude.
Blue Eyes White Dragon. Shinomiya comes by Kafka's cell and it's like, hey, we got group training. But he was going through the text and sees all the nice things. And he's got ugly cry face now. Cuts back to Isao and he's still sinking, being consumed. And he's like, I'm at my limit. And the Kaiju are growing in a way far beyond what he imagined. And then he has a montage of a bunch of Kaiju witness reports.
Did you type out all these Kaiju reports? Greg, do not.
No, I did not. Maybe if this was like the summer Hikaru died or an anime that would benefit from looking into the breadcrumbs a little bit, I probably would have. I learned my lesson from episode 1 where I wrote out the whole thing where they were like, the missile tanks, engage, shooter, machine gun guys, engage. Yeah, fucking wasted my time. The director dudes are like, what the hell is going on? We've had 14 unresolved Kaiju incidents in the past month. And Hoshino says that they all disappeared before the defense force arrived. And that they clearly have higher intelligence than regular Kaiju.
I thought the Kaiju that was eating the fish out of the air and making the fish fly everywhere, I thought it was a really cool looking Kaiju. I think that one looks insane. And the running Kaiju just reminded me of Dan, you know what I mean? I think some of them are cool looking.
You basically have Evangelion, fucking Jurassic Park, Dan. All these Kaiju are just inspired from other anime.
Yeah, 100%. And then you have Shinomiya.
Yeah, then you have
Kaiju.
Shinomiya clone Kaiju, yeah. A scientist dude says that the speed at which Kaiju are being made is far greater than what Kaiju number 10 said. Hasegawa says they're strengthening defense and expanding shelters. And then someone else says they considered going to other countries for help. But government is concerned about Kaiju materials being smuggled out. So there we go. We get some political intrigue, and I guess that answers the question.
That's actually sensible, though. I understand to a certain extent wanting to handle the problem here before you get America involved. And America's like, all right, well, we're going to help, but we're just going to nuke everything. It's like, hey, let's settle this at home for now. If it gets too crazy, maybe.
This is unprecedented that you have like 14 magnitude 9 kaijus appear all at once. Like that's never happened before. And they're all sentient. And you have kaiju number 9 like pulling the strings in the background. Like it sounds like this should be a world problem, not like a Japan problem. But
yeah. Well, I said that with solo leveling as well. I think that like solo leveling's power scaling is fucking silly sometimes. But there are some world level events that happened in the next season where I'm just like, okay, well, what's, Russia and China and America and like Africa think about this, guys? What's going on?
Well, I mean, we did have who's the American guy? Thomas Andre.
Thomas
we did have
motherfucking
him,
Andre.
and he did show up for that meeting on their raid to Jeju Island or whatever. And he was basically like,
Yes.
"Yeah, America doesn't fucking care. I just came to just listen in. All right, see you later." And then he just Superman flies back to America. Yeah,
Yeah, basically.
So I think it's a little different. It's more that the other countries were just like, deal with your own shit, versus this where they're like, we're going to keep it under wraps, even though this is like a really big problem.
Yeah.
But some scientist dude says they've disabled the seal on the Kaiju number 1 suit and are optimizing it. Or sorry, Kaiju number 10 suit, and are optimizing it for Hoshina. And they're still looking for candidates for the number 3, 5, and 7 Kaiju suits. Keiji says they're bringing every anti-kaiju force they have into this battle, but then thinks that if multiple kaiju, like the one that defeated Isao, appears, it won't be enough, and our nation is in peril, and all I can do is watch because I'm fucking old. And then, I have the note that says I'm getting sick of the whole old people suck message they got going on, and the new generation is our heroes, and they're the only ones that can save us. We're bad.
I also...
Then my next note is it's changing from embracing old man Kafka into old people suck. Let's get a bunch of preteens to fight monsters for us because we're too old. More shonenization, I guess. So those are my 2 notes on how I feel about what's going on so far.
Yeah, I think at this point, it's getting redundant, where we should have some of these older warriors actually do something. Like, because they're all just sitting around talking about the end of the world and then acting like they can do nothing when they've literally fought in, like, several kaiju wars.
Like, if you think of it in real world terms, it's like some 5-star general that's been in literally every major war of the past 2-3 decades. And then he's like, well, I guess I'm too old. Hey, you private, you just got out of high school. This is your responsibility now. I'm so dumb
it's
and
like
old.
you have the intelligence. You don't need to keep hammering home that you're old. You have the battle knowledge, the wherewithal, the strategic ability. You understand kaiju far better than any of these kids could at this point in time. Yeah, sure, they will surpass you in strength, but you laid the groundwork for this, right? Why are you such a little bitch right now?
They'll definitely surpass them at some point. I don't think it's right fucking now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like I believe every division commander has some sort of numbered kaiju part. So like you're already strong
kind of.
and you're able to use numbered kaiju parts, and you can unleash whatever 50% of your unleashed power suit. And why are you acting like there's nothing you can do and it's just all up to fucking Reno, who literally almost lost his fucking mind to the ice kaiju before high-fiving Iharu like upside down? It doesn't make any sense. And like if they said it once, I feel like I would be like, all right, I get it. But then now it's just like, hey, let's just dogpile all these old fucks. And it's not even the young people dogpiling the old fucks. It's the old fucks just trying to retire early or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like, I can't wait to be done with this. I just need to keep saying that I'm fucking useless and maybe they'll let me retire early and not die in a kaiju war. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is, Greg. Maybe we're giving him too much credit.
It cuts back to Isao being absorbed, and now his arms and legs are gone. And he says he is entrusting everything to Narumi, Mina, and all the young warriors.
Jujutsu Kaisen did it better.
So then I have a note here that says, are these kaiju being created from Isao?
No, I don't think so.
Like his arms are gone, his legs are gone. And then they're showing the different giant kaijus that are appearing. Like, is that from not necessarily like Isao's fears, but is him being absorbed, giving Kaiju number 9 the power to create those Kaiju. And I guess I want to backtrack a little bit because I'm like, well, I guess this would make sense, especially with the Shinomiya clone Kaiju. That's just taking on the form of Shinomiya. Like, it's exposed later on that it's some weird fucking floating brain thing or whatever.
It's the brain ballerina.
I wonder if it has any relation to Isao being absorbed to the Kaiju that are being created right now. I don't know.
I think it's a small amount because I think that Kaiju number 9 is using his knowledge and intelligence of the human race to help the Kaiju become stronger. But I don't think it's like as heavy-handed as like we needed Isao as like a linchpin to make these optimal or like the perfect beings. I think he has care for his daughter, and so one of the Kaiju was like, it'd be super sick if I took the form of his daughter and then killed his daughter.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they have the 5 Kaiju, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, as we'll learn later on. Mm-hmm. And I guess you can pull a fucking Summer Hikaru died here, where left arm, right arm, left leg, right leg, torso. That's 5 pieces, 5 Kaiju. I don't know. And then Kaiju number 9 keeps the head. Who knows?
I always keep the head.
Don't know what that is.
I just said something that maybe move us forward.
Okay,
Who knows?
To Ariake base sub basement 13, and Narumi is there with Shinomiya, and he's like, I fight you for real, but you need to wear this suit. And it's Kaiju number 4 suit, which was Shinomiya's mom's suit. And she says she's going to avenge her dad and ask her mom for her strength, talking to the suit. Cuts to an apartment of the mom and daughter from episode 1 who Kafka saved, and they're listening to the news, and it says there has been an absence in Kaiju since the bizarre appearance of the unresolved Kaiju 3 months ago. And the girl says, Mr. Kaiju will come back and beat up Kaiju number 9. Don't hold your breath, girl, because he's old as fuck, so he'll probably just die because he's useless.
100%. Marino's the new main character.
It cuts to Ariake base sub-basement 17, and there's a rumbling, but they're like, oh, it's just Narumi and Shinomiya sparring, and they're training every day in the enhanced fortified training room. Montage of everyone training, and then to Kafka training with Hoshina. And Kafka is like, hell yeah, my punch is getting better. And then Hoshina 1-inch punches Kafka and just fucking blows him away, showing how useless Kafka is this entire time.
It was really funny, though, the way he's like fucking just a static image flying through the air, turning, and then it looked really silly. I thought it was really funny.
It was funny, but is it really that's the power discrepancy between those two? So, like, how did Hoshina lose? I don't know. It's really weird just how they're portraying the characters and everything, like how Hoshina's so strong, but then Kafka's literally the strongest weapon that they have in the entire defense force.
I don't think he's using any of his Kaiju power at this point, right? They're trying to train just his body. And they keep saying that he's so far behind with his regular body. For him to train his Kaiju powers, he's going to need to be able to beat the Kaiju inside or something like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. I was going to say something, but you know what? You're right. You're right. It's lunchtime now, and Kafka is on the roof, and he's like, damn, look at the view. Where am I going to eat my solo camping lunch? But then sees Mina eating her lunch there too. And he's like, nope, can't eat next to her, and goes to leave. But she's like, get the fuck over here, you stupid old fuck man. She talks about how this is the calm before the storm. But when you sit up here, it's like the Kaiju are really gone. And Kafka is like, yeah, I see the vision. I see it. She reminisces that when they were kids and the alarm went off, Kafka came running all the way from another school building to get her, and it was embarrassing. And Kafka was like, you were vice captain of the Kafka squad, and the captain's gotta lead the group. And she says that he was everyone's leader back then, even though you were scared, and you would smile to make me feel better. And if a kaiju showed up for some reason, it felt like you would take care of it, so I wasn't scared at all.
Foreshadowing.
Kafka is like, damn, I was hella cool back then. But she says, you're still the same when you saved the Tachikawa base. And Hoshina told me about your decision, and I've gotten stronger too. So don't bear the whole burden anymore. And we said we would wipe out the kaiju together. And I feel like this is just like a little bit sudden, right? They've really been hammering home this idea that Kafka, because he's kaiju number 8, he has to beat up all the other kaiju. Like kaiju number 9 is his responsibility. Like anyone that's in danger, it's his responsibility to save them, even though he knows good and well that the Defense Force was there before he was kaiju number 8. He knows what they can do, but now for some reason he thinks that because he's kaiju number 8, he literally has to do everything on its own. And I feel like they're hammering that really hard as well, along with the old people suck message. And I see why they're doing it and probably how it's going to turn out later on in the series, but I don't know. It just felt a little bit forced to me, these interactions of the characters here, I guess. And the weird thing is Kafka is just as old as Mina, maybe like a couple years older. Like she's not like fucking 10 years younger than this guy. So when they're saying that like old people are trash, like they have to be talking about Mina and everyone else as well. But anyway, Kafka is like, yeah, but then has a flashback to kaiju number 9 and he hesitates a little and she notices. But then he's like, you right. And then he gives her the old Kafka smile. Mina leaves and thinks that he hasn't changed, and he still smiles like that when he tries to be brave. And then I just wrote, I guess kaiju number 9 scares him. That's why he smiles.
I would imagine. I mean, we're looking at a world-ending level event. This regular-ass dude who was just like cleaning up kaiju parts, really just trying to help, lucked into this situation. He's probably like, I'm way fucking in over my head. I don't know what is going on. I just got fisted by Hoshino a minute ago. My booty hole's still ripe, and
I'm still
scared.
peeing out my nipples.
Yes.
Kafka wonders if he can
God
beat
damn it.
kaiju number 9, but he's like, I got to for the future. Cuts to Shinjuku Kabukicho, and there's clone Shinomiya, and she's getting hit on by some dudes. And then she transforms into the brain kaiju and impales literally everyone and calls for all the other kaijus. That's episode number 9.
We're finally getting into the meat and potatoes of this season, and I'm not as stoked as I was for season 1. Season 1 was a lot of fun, and I think they did a good job with people getting killed and stuff, and showed how serious it could be. I think they kind of skimped on that for this episode.
Like, we can obviously see here in this screenshot that Brain Kaiju Shinomiya clone could literally just kill everybody right now. Right this instant.
I mean, I'm assuming her power has a limit of like how far.
Yeah, but I mean,
go.
she can just teleport to another section.
Her speed is insane.
Like, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, if they wanted all of humanity to die, they could do it right now. All 5 of those magnitude 9.4 kaijus combined, they could just punch Japan into the center of the earth. But I mean, that's like the motivation behind some of this stuff. It's like, why did you even bother killing these guys? Like, who cares if they were hitting on you? You're a kaiju. You don't even fucking know what that means. And then why even do this? And then we'll get to it in episode 10 as well, where it's just kind of like, what's the reasoning for these kaiju attacking other people? And I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, it's like your power far exceeds what any normal human could deal with. Your invasion of Japan could be so swift, and you're alluding to how swift it could be with like, oh, they appeared for 3 minutes and then disappeared. And then all of a sudden we get a drawn out situation where they're not killing that many people and they're not actually able to blitzkrieg as quickly because Kafka's here and this girl's here, and I don't even remember the blue haired girl's name, the green and blue hair. But like, yeah, like
Hinonome.
Gatling gun girl. It's definitely weird pacing. Maybe that's why this season is the way it is.
Yeah, I think it's just creating artificial tension. But as the viewer, I guess I don't really care. I guess in this next episode we're going to get into, like, I kind of care because we know that character and the situation is supposed to be happy, but then it turns bad because a kaiju showed up. You've DJ'd weddings. And you know how many weddings happen on a single day. So why is it important for this kaiju to attack this particular wedding at this particular time?
I think that's just unlucky situations. There's going to be people in the world, right? I don't think the kaiju are like, yeah, the wedding day is really important. I think it's just unlucky. Weddings exist every fucking day. Like every day I DJ some sort of a wedding. Like we get wedding parties into the bar every weekend. So I just think it's unlucky. But you should do a segue for a gamer subs while I grab my amoxicillin.
We just got to wait.
No, Greg, it's too late.
I haven't had the clairvoyance yet to be able to do it.
I will say what's crazy about the situation of Shinomiya clone stabbing everybody in their gamer subs cups as it spills out of their bodies. That's my segue.
Well, I'll do one and then we'll figure out which ones is better and then we'll cut one. Okay, here we go. Onward to episode 10. They are at the head cleaner dude's daughter's wedding, and they're like, I wonder if Kafka is going to show up. And they're like, he might just roll up last minute. So they take his name placard away and put a picture of him there instead. And everyone is like, that's way worse than an empty seat. But then head cleaner guy gets called to the front. The other guys say he was a single dad, and now he's marrying off his daughter. He gets ready to walk his daughter down the aisle, and she's like, why are you more nervous than me? But she thanks him for everything, and then they start their walk. But then there's a huge kaiju looking through the venue windows.
Okay, this was kind of sick, though. It shows the venue and the groom at the front. It's all lit up. It's really pretty. Everybody's clapping. And then the kid, like, sits there and he turns around and it kind of gets dark. Then all of a sudden, it's just this fucking huge face in the window. And you're like, oh, shit, everybody's fucking dead.
Yup.
They're so fucked. I was like, oh, shit, this is actually kind of hype. This didn't happen at any weddings that I've done, so it's good news.
If it does happen, I want to be at it.
Are you going to cough?
No, I'm just going to be probably the officiant, and then I'm just going to get exploded and die.
Yeah, same. I'll be DJing, and I'll be like...
as the kaiju's eating you, you're just like...
Yeah. Yes, perfect, great.
But there's a huge kaiju that looks through the venue windows, and it fucking explodes the venue.
I'm glad he's smiling as well. He's like, I'm here for the wedding? Do you guys have hors d'oeuvres?
It cuts to the kaiju call center, and they get the report. But then they see that they're getting reports all over Tokyo. And then it cuts to the kaiju showing up everywhere. Then it has like a quick montage of the different kaiju, the different cities that they're appearing in Tokyo. I didn't write them all down. I thought about it, but then I also thought it doesn't matter.
I got a few pictures of them for the class at home. If you're listening on Spotify, by the way, you can actually watch on Spotify. And soon we will have these episodes on YouTube, so you can watch there as well.
But it cuts back to the wedding, and Cleaner Dude is carrying the groom, and he's like, we're going to get you patched up at a shelter. Don't leave my daughter alone. And then the kaiju takes another swipe, and his daughter gets flung. And now the kaiju is focusing on her and crushes her legs and then scoops her up to eat her.
Dude, she's 100% wheelchair bound for the rest of existence. Like, that kaiju literally squashed her legs.
Yeah, there's nothing left of those legs.
Yeah, those are missed stumps.
Like, if you think about it, like, how heavy is that kaiju?
Probably like 600 tons.
600 tons, squashing your legs.
And muscle. Just pushing down.
It's almost like he turned her legs into gamer sups, where you can go to gamersups.gg and use DJ Montague at checkout for 10% off of your order of delicious limited edition flavors such as crushed wedding legs. Please visit gamersups.gg.
Anime girl thighs. You could have used it right there.
Nope. That's not the limited edition flavor. They always have that flavor.
Oh.
But visit gamersups.gg. Use promo code DJ Montague at checkout for 10% off of your order of Gamersups.
What a segue, Greg. That was insane.
Okay, so it crushes her legs and then scoops her up to eat her. But Cleaner Dude bites his arm and is like, you can smell blood, eat me instead of her. But then Narumi jumps in and turns it into steaks. And the defense force saves the bride. And now they have food for the whole wedding party. Narumi cuts up more kaiju,
fuck,
and then
Greg?
Hasegawa says there's good news and there's bad news. Good news is they're cutting up kaiju and helping civilians. But bad news is there's no reinforcements.
Dude, Narumi looked dope as fuck, by the way. His new outfit is so sick. He's like, I'm going to show off my shoulders.
It cuts to the 6th Division Captain Hoshina Soichiro. And he's like, we can't send reinforcements. And then it cuts to the other wards, and everyone is busy fighting kaiju. And Hasegawa says they're specifically targeting support infrastructure like power plants and shit. And they've never seen anything like this from kaiju. So that means kaiju number 9 is out there. Cuts to Ariake base, northern area. And Keiji is there with a scientist dude. And they're basically like, let's bring out this sick thing. And then they're like, we haven't used this in over a decade, not since Isao's wife was vice captain of the 1st Division. And then Shinomiya walks out in the Kaiju number 4 suit. Then she rides like a fucking stealth bomber or some shit.
Yeah, she gets loaded into a stealth bomber like it's a motorcycle. And then they launch her into the city. Because it's more convenient to launch someone with a disposable stealth bomber than it is for them to use.
Yeah,
their
and
powers to
literally
get there
they
just as
say
fast.
that this suit is the only one that can fly. So I'm sure she probably just could have fucking flew there, but it's fine. Let's just use the
Yeah.
taxpayers' dollars to shoot a stealth bomber out of like a fucking clock tower like X-Men or something.
Yeah, like a disposable stealth X-Men bomber, cutting edge technology that is going to fly into the distance and just explode in the air or some shit because we need to aura farm for Shinomiya. We need to let Japan know how dope
Yeah.
Shinomiya is.
So they launch her, and everyone is like, oh, damn, she's fast. And Keiji says, it's the fastest numbered weapon and the only one that can fly. And that's why Hikari had the highest kill count than any captain in history. Then Shinomiya explodes some kaiju. And this is the thing, too, that kind of bugs me about this style of storytelling. Because it's not just kaiju that does this. It's other animes that do this where you get the short scene of them just fucking up some like lower level kaiju. And like it's easy, not even fucking close. And everyone's like, oh man, oh look at this. Oh, she's basically captain class. Oh, she's so cool. She's so sick. Oh man, she just splattered all those kaiju. Like, oh man, nothing can be fucking defeat her. But it's like, I don't know. It's so obvious that you're designing the story in such a way to be like, oh, hey, there's hope. Oh, no, she fights this thing and just gets fucked. Oh, wait, there's hope. Oh, no, they fight this thing and then they're fucked. It's like, who fucking cares if she exploded some bronze tier kaiju? It's like Faker going into a bronze game and then everyone's like, holy shit, this guy's fucking insane. Of course he's fucking insane, dude. He's like Challenger 1 on every single server. Why is that a surprise that he blew up like an entire fucking squad of bronze kids that just play like once a weekend?
I mean, once a month.
Or just a bunch of old dudes, actually. Like, this is our first day off in 12 years.
It's you and me and ARAM against Faker, and then like 3 of our friends that just drink beer at the bar all day and got home wasted and are like, yeah, let's play some League ARAM, and then you just queue up against Faker in his prime.
To me, you're just trying a little bit too hard, I guess. It's very transparent, what you're trying to do.
I think it's, I mean, every show does this to gauge how strong people are. I mean, there's literally countless.
I know. That's why I prefaced it with saying this isn't just a kaiju issue. Like, a lot of animes do this very thing.
A lot of shows in general do this.
And I just wish they wouldn't.
Does it feel like filler to you?
It's useless screen time to me.
I think it gives a chance for people to style.
I would rather they save their style points for the thing that's actually a challenge. But that's just me.
Okay.
The other Defense Force dudes are like, we suck. She's basically captain class. And Keiji says Shinomiya always had her dad's fighting power, but now she has her mom's mobility, and she's just like both of you, Isao, and pours one out for the homie. Cuts to Hoshina with the Kaiju number 10 weapon, and the Kaiju number 10 weapon is like, fuck yeah, let's frag. And Hoshina is like, man, why does this suit need to talk? And the scientist chick is like, this is a prototype, and full sync isn't possible, so verbal communication is key to syncing. Kaiju number 10 is like, hey man, I like you. let's do this. And Hoshina is like, fuck you, man. And says they've never been able to fully unleash because they can't sync their minds because they both are doing their own thing.
I think this was kind of cool.
This is different, I think, because this is showing you the personality of Kaiju number 10, which is clashing with Hoshina's personality. But then it's basically playing like that one game, like you're tied together and you have to like jump and shit.
Yeah.
It's actually building out the Kaiju number 10 suit. Now, with Shinomiya, we already know that her mom was a badass. That suit's fucking sick. And you even prefaced it with saying like, oh, that suit will get the highest kills because it can fly and literally be fast as fuck and just sonic boom everything in half. You're not really adding anything by showing her blow up some kaiju. But this is different to me because it's building Kaiju number 10.
All right. I like that.
Hoshina is like, listen to me or else we'll die. And you'll get thrown in the trash. And he's like, you got it, boss. Then cuts out the bottom of the helicopter and they drop into a pack of kaiju.
Okay, that was so sick, though. I thought it was sick as fuck. He uses, like, so basically, Kaiju number 10 is in control of the tail.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Hoshina's control of the, like, suit body part. He's like, all right, aim for the bushes. And just cuts a hole in the fucking thing and drops out. And they're like, oh shit, with the circuitry, all of the things that we worked so hard for.
Yeah, it's just like those dudes in the helicopter are like, I guess we're dead. Like, we can't fly this thing anymore.
Well, the cabin pressure is fucked. Like,
there's no hope for those pilots. Like, they're just like the stealth bomber, one-time use.
He's like, yep, I'm here to fuck shit up. And then he drops out the bottom.
So they land and immediately do different things. And Hoshina is like, it makes more sense to take the weaker flank. And Kaiju number 10 is like, nah, that's boring. Let's kill the ones with the most numbers. They're both doing the opposite of each other, causing the combat power to drop from 51 to 41. And they're like, you gotta fall back. And Hoshina is like, okay, last chance, Kaiju number 10, listen to me. And he's like, nah, man, all out offense. And then they get a plane power bombed onto them. So another Kaiju literally picks up a plane and just fucking smashes it into them as they're arguing.
Yeah, crazy.
Hoshina is like, man, why do I always get paired with the stubborn dudes? And it flashes to Kafka Teehee. And he's like, dude, Kaiju number 10, you suck, but I can't die here. So I'll do what you want. And they go on an all-out offensive. And the combat power is now at like 67%. And the power continues to rise as Hoshina berates Kaiju number 10 for being shit. They cut up all the little kaiju, then Hoshina uses his technique number 6, eightfold slash, which was the same he used to defeat Kaiju number 10, and Kaiju number 10 is like, sick. Hoshina is like, okay, let's clear up the rest, and Kaiju number 10 is like, no, let's kill the defense force. And Hoshina is like, man, what the hell? And the scientists say that some of the defense force call them the comedy duo. Oh, that's so silly. Yeah.
They were threatening to kill us. Did you hear that over the comms? He said, we're gonna kill everybody. And then it was, they're funny guys. Like, could you imagine being a regular ass grunt dude? You're like fucking trying to shoot one kaiju, and then you see over in the corner this dude just slashing up all these fucking like smaller kaiju, and then you hear over comms, let's kill everybody, bro. And then you're just like, yeah, I like being in this area. I like being deployed nearby. Like, fuck, dude.
It actually kind of reminds me of Dan to Dan and Evil Eye. Because when Evil Eye transforms, he's just like, oh, time to kill. Let's murder.
Yeah.
Dan to Dan did it better, obviously. Cuts to Shinonome, and they're up against 6 super large kaiju. And Kafka is like, put me in, coach. And she's like, no, go back to bitch duty. You're our ace, just in case Kaiju number 9 shows up. And if you transform, Kaiju number 9 might detect you. And your role is to fight that dude. The Kaiju start mouth blasting, but then Mina is like, prepare for impact. I got this. And then that's how episode 10 ends.
There's a lot of exposition that's unnecessary. Like, Mina's in charge of blowing these up. Does she need to let everybody know that she's taking a shot when they planned on her taking 6 shots?
I don't know. It's weird because you have the captains, you have the vice captains, and then the vice captains, I assume, are supposed to be strong. I don't know. It's like basically everyone is useless except for the people with the numbered kaiju suits. So why is anyone else there? Like, why even be there? Like, Shinonome, why are you there? Because we're going to see in the next episode, you're fucking useless. And everyone else that doesn't have a numbered suit is fucking trash. You might as well just go to kaiju cleanup duty with the cleaner dude and use the cool chainsaw. And we move on to episode 11. Mina snipes some kaiju from 10 cities away using the anti-large kaiju fixed railgun Heranos and just flood the streets with kaiju blood.
Dude, that explosion was kind of fucking sick. That thing getting shot through the chest and exploded out the back. I was like, oh, yeah.
I like Mina. I like the animations of her shooting stuff in season 1. I thought her intro was cooler than Narumi's intro in season 2. It's cool. There are redeeming parts of the series. That's why I'm not going to give it a 1.
Yeah.
I don't like how season 2 is. I don't like how they told the story. I don't like how they developed the characters. I don't like the continued development of what Kafka is now. And even Kaiju number 9, like, I feel like he was less impactful. But I mean, there are still cool things that happen, like Mina shooting a railgun and just evaporating kaiju into blood rain.
Yeah, it fucking so sick. The thing explodes. It got its back blown out
From the front.
Yeah, that's crazy power.
Okay. Keiji is like, she's more powerful than Narumi for large kaiju. And she's the only person in the world that has that much firepower at her disposal. Which makes you think, like, why didn't she just shoot Kaiju number 9 with that thing, I guess? And
I think Kaiju number 9's too fast. And, like, these lumbering Kaiju are just a little bit slower. And so she could do work on them.
Yeah.
And, like, when we do see the Mushroom Kaiju from before, like, seeing her being able to take, like, huge chunks out of it. Narumi's not going to be able to do that. He's got his mobility. Hoshino's not going to be able to do that. He's got his mobility.
How much do you want to bet there's going to be a Dragon Ball Z Goku holding on to Raditz and having Piccolo do his spiral beam
kill
cannon? Him and kill Goku at the same time?
100,000%. There's so many situations where that exact thing could happen and will happen in this show. I feel like all tropes are just on the table at this point. Reno and Iharu are eventually going to have a moment where they have to hold hands and use each other's power.
They do the fusion dance, and then now they're just...
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Narumi is going to sacrifice himself for the greater good, and he's going to yell, "Don't forget me being platinum rank," as he gets a hole blown through his chest, and then he'll get revived.
Yeah, they'll use the 7 kaiju balls and summon the
7
dragon to revive Narumi. Yeah. Okay, so she clears out all the kaiju, and the rest of the defense force goes to save the civilians, and Kafka says some embarrassing stuff while his mic is hot, and it's silly, and everyone is like, ho, 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 Kafka, you're one funny old man.
Silly Billy Goat.
Everyone in the command center is like, we're doing it. But all the soldiers are like, nah, this isn't right. And kaiju don't seem focused on destruction. And then it cuts to Kaiju number 9, who's like, I'm surprised Kaiju number 8 didn't show up, but I got them to reveal most of their pieces. Just then, water erupts from the sewers, and a Fortitude 9 kaiju appears. And then all the captains have their own massive kaijus that they need to deal with, all with Fortitude 9. And they designate all the kaiju's numbers, which are 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Real quick, this one that has the 2 scars on its face instead of the 1 crossed scar, this is just the second version of Kaiju number 10. I'm really excited for Hoshino to fight that one, because it looks pretty hard. Like, it looks pretty cool. And it looks like, yeah, I can't wait to fight.
I said this before, that I feel like season 1 was good. I feel like season 2 was handed over to B-team story writers, animators, to just get through it and set the stage for season 3, where they're going to bring A-team back in, and then they're going to do some crazy shit. So even though I didn't like this 11 episode season 2 of Kaiju number 8, I will say I'm glad they didn't delve into these boss fights, because I feel like season 3 will be dedicated to fighting all of these kaiju, and hopefully it's going to look way better and way cooler than season 2. So, but yeah, they all get their kaiju to fight. Kaiju number 15 is the Shinomiya clone, and it blasts some nobody soldiers away, leaving just their feet. And Narumi is like, this was his plan all along, to separate all the strongest fighters. KG is like, this isn't good. Kaiju that strong normally take multiple captains to kill, so we're fucked, especially Shinomiya. Narumi is like, Ayo Shinomiya, we can't send reinforcements, so kill that thing. And Shinomiya is like, I've always had someone else save me, and I've never been the one to defeat the really strong enemies. And she's like, I'll be the one to fucking do it this time. Narumi gets to fight Kaiju number 11, which is like some white fish human thing. Hoshina gets Kaiju number 12, which is like Kaiju number 10 looking thing. Shinonome gets Kaiju number 13, which is like some fucking titan looking thing. Mina gets Kaiju number 14, which is just a black rectangle with some faces. And Shinomiya gets Kaiju number 15, which is her clone. So it starts with Shinomiya. She starts fighting, and she's like, I'm scared, but I die if I mess up. And everyone is like, she's so strong. And Keiji is like, she's stronger than Isao, Hikari, and Narumi. But then cuts back to her, and she gets fucked. Narumi gets 50-50 water ball punch mix up by Kaiju 11. And Kaiju number 11 is like, I know how your eyes work. And is like, you can't predict the flow of water. So basically, we're Kaiju number 11, because I made a water analogy earlier in the episode.
Nice.
Can't predict us. We're fucking crazy.
We're crazy. We got 50-50 mix up on this podcast all day.
Hoshina is also getting fucked. Everyone's getting fucked. Gotta build the suspense. And the scientist chick is like, it's almost like these kaiju were created specifically to defeat each one of them. And Keiji is like, of course. Humans have always studied things to defeat them, but now, for the first time, someone has studied us to defeat us. Cuts to all the civilians in shelters, and Toku, the cleaning dude, is there, and the other cleaner dudes are like, what's good, my man? Heard your daughter is eyed. And then the news pops up and says all the new kaiju are about Fortitude 9, and everyone's like, damn, we're fucked. But then Toku gets up and talks to some soldiers, and now he's helping since people are fighting to help him. Cuts to Kafka helping civilians evacuate, but then there's a big explosion, and on the radio they're like, everyone get the fuck out of there, and if your combat power is below 60%, then stay away because you're fucking useless. Kafka keeps helping civilians, and they're all like, fuck you, man, we're fucked probably, but some old lady stumbles and a girl helps her, and she can tell she's scared. So the girl whips out her Defense Force trading cards and is like, they got this. And Kafka looks on in approval. More explosions and everyone is rushing to the shelters, and the girl drops her trading cards, but Kafka helps her pick them up and says she's right. We got a lot of strong people.
She has 5 different versions of Gen Narumi cards. I counted.
That makes sense.
I mean, if you're going to have trading cards of all the people, you don't want to keep 5 different ones of the same dude in your deck. You're not going to be able to cast 5 different versions of a captain.
Well, I mean, I assume this isn't a trading card game. I assume this is like baseball.
No, Greg, it is a trading card game in my fantasy kitchen of a brain. I cast Gen Narumi Dark Magician.
I know you can do this on Delta. I don't know about other airlines, but you can ask the pilots for trading cards. And they'll have trading cards of different planes. And also the conductors of the trains in Japan also have trading cards.
Great. That's so wonderful. I can't wait to collect my trading cards. My trading
cards. Hey. I know that DJ Montague says that trading cards and trains are one of the most unattractive things that you can do. But if you like trading cards and trains, don't let someone like DJ Montague put you down.
I literally never said that. Literally did not say that.
The only reason I know about the Japan conductor thing is because I saw a little kid go up with his dad and they knocked on the window
It's kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty cool. Like,
And I think that conductor was like very young too. He probably was like brand new conductor, so he was probably ecstatic that a kid asked, "Hey, can I have trading cards? What you do is really cool."
that is cool. I want a Gen Narumi trading card.
Kafka says she's right. We got a lot of strong people, and she's like, "Do you have a trading card, mister?" And he's like, "Nah." And she's like, "Well, if you ever get one, I'll buy it." Cuts to Shinonome and her crew, and they're getting fucked. And then she gets tiger uppercutted by Kaiju number 13 and thinks about wanting to get stronger just like everyone else in the show. And she wants Narumi to notice me senpai. She rolls around and then gets up and is like, "I strong, proud platoon leader, and I know I can't beat this thing, but I gotta stall it as long as possible for Narumi." But then Kaiju number 13 teleports behind her nothing personnel kid, and Goomba punches her through the bridge, and now her legs are broken, and she's like, "I don't want to die."
Same Z's.
Did you want to add anything? I went through that pretty quick.
No, I think this picture of Gen was pretty fucking sick, but I love Gen. He's such a little gamer boy. He's trying so hard to be cool all the time, and he's like, "Check out my fucking stance."
Yeah,
dude."
hands in my pocket. I don't need these unless I'm going to get serious.
Yeah.
All right.
And then she's having a struggle. Literally so much tears and snot and blood, and like she's like, "I'm dying, I can't win this fight." And then she's like, Gen's like, "But don't I look
Yeah.
cool?"
All right. Kaiju number 13 goes for the execute, but there's a green flash and then smoke, and then the smoke clears, and Kafka saves Shinonome, and she's like, "Why are you here?" And Kafka is like, "I know you told me to stay in the rear, but I'm defying orders." And he has green glowing eyes. She's like, "No, we can't lose you here." And he's like, "Don't worry," and does his goofy Kafka smile. Then he transforms into a shirt from it-aesthetics.com, where you can go and get 10% off using promo code TABC10 at checkout, where you too can get green glowing eyes by changing into a shirt, just like the one Kafka has, or the one that DJ Montague has, or that I have. They do actually have Kaiju t-shirts that you could purchase, and they're all pretty cool. So go check them out.
I love these shirts, by the way. They've got excellent style, and they're wonderful. And the episode ends, we see Kaiju number 9 floating in the sky. He's about to open his mouth to either beam super or something like that, and then instead, the episode ends, and that is the end of season. He's like, "Ah!" It's literally, meh.
He's like, "Oh, I'm about to boss."
Lord have mercy, I'm about to best.
All right, that's how Kaiju
Anyways,
number 8 ends.
so-
So there you go. There's your finale.
I didn't really, it was whatever, That happened. That was a show. I wish they did more. I like season 2. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to give it out of 10, I'll probably give it a 6. I didn't hate it. There were a lot of parts that I thought were cool. I don't mind them focusing on more of the kids. They need to stop going so hard for, old people are useless, we're all doomed. That I could care less about. But I like them building up the other characters other than Kafka in this season. And I hope they do a return to Kafka and Mina's storyline going forward. Yeah, my score's a 6.
Everything you said, I don't mind either. I don't mind that the Kafka story took a back seat. I don't mind that they decided to focus on the other characters. Be normal for once and not go super crazy, and to actually have a normal discussion. I just don't like how they executed the setup that they're going for right now. I think that they had too much of what I said before, where it's just like Narumi cutting up nobody kaijus. You had Shinomiya cut up nobody kaijus. You had the kaijus cut up nobody soldiers. Like a bunch of shit that doesn't even matter. Like those soldiers that Kaiju number 15 mouth beamed and all that was left was their ankle bones or whatever. Like their unleashed power is like 20 probably or 30. It's just like they're no ones. Of course, she might as well have just beamed civilians, just exactly like she did before with the people that were hitting on her. Just stab them with your steel spider web or whatever you did. I know that they're doing it to try and show how strong everyone is, but at the same time, we already know how strong they are because we have other kaiju that fortitude of 9 show up, and we know what their capable of. Obviously, civilians and normal soldiers are not going to be able to do anything. And we also know how strong Narumi is, because Isao left the entire defense force to him, and Narumi being the future of what the defense force is going to be. Isao's monologue of Narumi and Kaiju number 8 Kafka are supposed to like hand in hand carry the defense force into the future of what the new next powerful defense force is supposed to be. We know that they're the strongest. You don't have to show us that cutting up like Fortitude 1 Kaijus makes them any cooler or any better. A lot of the story building elements that they decided to use were ineffective because of what we already know about the story. Now, if this was like season 1 of Kaiju, I think I would have given it a higher score. But because we already had the backstory of season 1, we already knew the strong defense force players at that time. We knew what they were capable of. We know Hoshina cut up Kaiju number 10 and is now wearing them, right? Like, we know that they're strong as fuck.
He's now literally wearing them. Yeah.
It doesn't matter because you already set that precedent. So it's just a lot of redundant, repeated information over the course of 11 episodes.
For me, it's them acclimating to their suits, and I agree with you. We've already watched this, but like for the Shinomiya instance, like you're wearing your mom's armor. That's cool enough in itself. We don't really need you to blast the magnitude 2.3 Kaiju. Also, I would like these random soldiers to get their day in the sun and show us that like 100 people could take down a magnitude 7 Kaiju. Give them a moment where like teamwork and strategy does something to show that they're not just cannon fodder. But right now, that's all 99% of the defense force is cannon fodder for Kaiju to blow up and turn into pink mist.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, where you're not using the time effectively to build the other character. Like Shinonome's useless, and she's like vice captain of a squadron. And then you have Hasegawa, who's vice captain to Narumi, who's basically his like dad. But Hasegawa hasn't done anything besides like talk all gruff about, you know, Kaiju news or whatever. He's basically a news anchor. You had the scene where we have all the other captains sitting in that room talking about the Kaiju number 10 information, just like sitting in their chairs, watching over the fucking battlefield or something, but not doing anything.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Bleach did this better. When they introduced the captains, they were kind of the enemies at the time. And at least we got Shunsui versus Chad and Byakuya versus Ichigo. And you had some semblance of conflict with these characters who turned out to be good characters. And then you start rooting for them. Hitsugaya, like, showing off his power and stuff like that. You get really cool elements. The scientist guy against Uryu. Ichigo versus Kenpachi. You've got so much. Whereas this season is just like, you see these characters and they're like, we're old and stupid. And that's it.
I see why they're doing it, because I think season 3 is just going to be like an all-out slugfest with your 6 main stars. Narumi, Mina, Shinomiya, Kafka, Rino, Iharu.
We don't even know which Kaiju Rino and Iharu are going to fight at this point.
They gave Kaiju number 13 to Shinonome, who we know is useless. She just got her legs blown out by getting punched in the head. And now that's going to be Kafka's Kaiju to fight.
You know what would have been sick? If they had a moment like earlier and showed Shinonome absolutely mowing down the knees of a bunch of Kaiju running at her. Like zombie kaiju or some shit like that, where she's like doing something, and like give her a moment where she does something cool to show that she has the combat strategy, the understanding, and the power to do something. And then when she's fighting Kaiju number 13, you know, when she's blasting it, she's like slowing it down a little bit, and she doesn't just get absolutely fisted immediately. Instead, we just have this character that does nothing at all throughout the whole season.
You have this cool, like, menacing chain gun wielding girl, and it's like, I had higher hopes for that character, but then I'm surprised when she got tiger uppercutted and he just shattered her fucking minigun, that it didn't also blow her clothes off like Ubel Blot. Like, that's what I thought was going to happen. They might as well have done that at this point, because she is so useless in what we know as characters, nobody matters. It's like you took the time to develop characters, but then you also
show
didn't,
characters.
right?
You took the time to develop some characters, and then like everybody else got thrown to the wayside, and then you just have them for cannon fodder. It's like, I want some attachment to some other characters. Like, I think these other characters are cool. This chain gun, Gatling gun lady seems cool, and then you just throw her to the fucking wolves. We don't need to see Shinomiya going apeshit on those minor kaiju. We could have seen Shinonome.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, and that's why I didn't like Narumi cutting up kaiju
I could watch
steaks.
Narumi fucking eat sushi.
To me, animation was bad. And for me,
It wasn't great.
animation for the time that this was released. It's 2025. Like, you could watch any other anime of this season, and it has better animation than Kaiju number 8, which is crazy considering that this is supposed to be like one of the headliners of the season. That got a 4. Character development, I gave it a 5. They didn't do anything good. They didn't do anything great. They did develop characters. Point for them, I suppose. Story, average, nothing mind-blowing. I probably should have gave this a little lower because the grading idea of new generation and old people suck and all of the stuff that they're just hammering into us for no reason. But I gave it a 5. And then my own personal feelings, I gave this a 5 as well. More so because I liked season 1. So they got higher marks because they made something that was good in the past. So overall, if you calculate all of this up, I give it a 4.
Okay. 4 it is. Tough out here in the streets.
Kaiju streets.
The Kaiju streets. Well, I'm glad we got to experience it. And we will watch season 3 because this was a very up and then down show. So, friends, thank you so much for listening to the Anime Book Club podcast or watching the Anime Book Club podcast if you're on Spotify or YouTube. Thank you to IT Aesthetics for sponsoring Tab C10 at checkout for 10% off your order of IT Aesthetics. Thank you to Gamer Subs for sponsoring as well. Code DJ Montague at checkout for 10% off your order there as well. Greg, hit us with the moral. What's the
moral of the story? Is believe in yourself. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something, that you're too old to do something, that you aren't a certain way to do something. If you believe in it and you believe that it's the right thing for you, then you should chase that dream and you should work towards it.
Yeah, look at Faker. He's almost 800 years old and he's still one of the best players in League
Step
of Legends
aside,
history.
the new generation is on the way.
We've talked about how many times a mid laner is going to supersede Faker with Chovy and Showmaker and Knight. And look at Faker on stage at Worlds just fucking everybody.
I thought
in
he
half.
retired.
Literally big dicking him. He did not retire. He is at Worlds right now, fragging the fuck out,
he was
dude.
supposed to retire.
Dude, he said that he's going to go as long as he can. Faker is 29 years old, but the average player of League of Legends in the World Championship is like 21 or something like that. So he's like 800 years old in comparison to these kids. Once again, thank you so much, friends, for tuning into the Anime Book Club podcast. We appreciate you being here. If you would be so inclined to share this with your friends that potentially watch anime or don't, and maybe they'll just be like, oh, anime's for nerds. But then they'll listen to us and be like, wow, anime's for really cool people only. I made the mistake. Greg, sign us out of here.
Signing off.
Red Leader signing off. Goodbye, Greg.
Goodbye.
Thank you, friends, for checking out the Anime Book Club podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
And if you don't want to miss the next one, follow us on the socials where we announce new episodes, content, and other cool stuff. You can also check out our anime list with our rankings and follow along with what we're currently watching and what we have watched in the past.
All the links are in the description. See you in the next one. Bye!